It's the Veteran Wealth Club coming to you. Hey, 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 it's the Veteran Wealth Club coming to you. Hey, 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 it's the Veteran Wealth Club coming to you. Hey, 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 hey. What's going on? It's your man, KO Clark, the Veteran Wealth Club president, the executor, the chairman of the board. And I'm here to tell you there's ways to make money using your veteran benefits. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, I could try to spin it in 1,000 different ways, but you see it. U.S. Army. I spent about 21 years in the United States Army. I did about 12 years active, and I did 8 years, well, almost 13 years active, 8 years in the reserves to finish off with about 21 years of serving the great country of the United States of America. And what I learned over my 21 years, well, I'm going to say what I learned over 18 of those years, was as I was getting ready to get out, that I didn't know anything about getting out. I went to the TAPS, the Transition Assistance Program. I went twice in less than a 12-month period. I got out. I did everything they told me to do. I did everything they told me to do. And I found myself unemployed for about 6 months. Shocker. Everything they tell you to do don't work for everybody. Shocker. I know. Shocker. But there I was, out of the Army. March 2014, I got out. March 10th, 2014. We had our first, my wife and I had our first child, March 20th, 2014. And I was there, unemployed. They gave me money to go into the Army Reserve. I took the money. I paid off all my debt. And then my VA claim wasn't coming because of that thing they don't tell you about, that you can't get paid from two different government agencies at the same time. So I got a letter telling me that I would not receive any of my VA benefits, my VA disability payment for about a year and a half. And I was unemployed, collecting my $400 a week. I applied everywhere. Walmart, Costco's, federal jobs, clearance jobs. I even had a job. I did HBO boxing one night. I did one of the pay-per-views where I was just there to go get water for Max Kellerman, Bernard Hopkins, and Jim Lampley. I mean, I was trying to do everything, but during the day I was just sitting there with my 6-month-old baby. I did everything they told me to do. So I cracked on the books. I'm like, hey, the TAP program didn't tell me everything. There must be something else in there. So I started learning. 6 months passed. I'm still learning. I get a job, but the job becomes, 5 months in temporary. We're letting you off for Christmas. Sorry. File unemployment again. Then I get another job. I'm still learning, still studying. A year and a half later, I'm sitting there, and I have an epiphany. And I realized that I had studied the veteran benefits for 6 months before I got out. And I studied for another year and a half after I got out. So if you're doing the math, that should be about 2 years that I was studying. And what I realized at the end of that 2-year period of studying is that I didn't know absolutely nothing when I came out. The Transition Assistance Program, it helps you if you got a plan. They say, hey, if you want to go in federal service, talk to these people. If you want to get your VA pension, talk to these people. If you want a electrician job, a trade job, talk to these people. But you got to know what you want to do. That's the kicker. And when you're someone like me who don't know what you want to do per se, because I had this big dream about being on the radio. Yeah, I was on the radio for a long time. I went to 2 trade schools for radio broadcasting, TV broadcasting. I was on air in D.C. for about 12 months. I was on WL 1450 AM, where information is power. Unpaid, by the way. Saturday nights only. Saturday night with Moon Man and the Fun Bunch on WL 1450 AM, where information is power. I didn't know what I wanted to do other than be on the radio. And when being on the radio didn't manifest or pay, I had to come up with another thing. So I went, after a brief stint working for Comcast, I went and got into the federal contracting. Made some good money. I had to drive an hour to it and sometimes 2.5 hours back. Made some good money, so I thought. They paid me $80,000. I was like, oh, man, a poor kid from Louisiana. I'm making $80,000 a year, y'all. I'm balling. Then I realized as I started studying more and more, now I'm about 2.5, 3 years out of the Army, I realized, well, if I make 80, I'm not married, I'm paying about $20,000 in taxes. I'm driving an hour, sometimes 2.5 hours back, so I'm paying another with the tolls to get on the road here in the Baltimore area. I'm paying another 20 in tolls and maintenance and vehicle maintenance and gas. I'm like, I'm really only making $40,000 a year. I'm making less than what I was making when I was in the Army. What is going on? I must didn't learn enough. So I get back. I start studying. I'm reading articles. I'm reading books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man in Babylon, The Automatic Millionaire, Think and Grow Rich. I'm reading books. I'm watching YouTube. I'm reading articles, and I learn again. I don't know it. Now, at this point, I've been studying for about 3 years. I'm making $80,000 a year. And I don't only know a fraction of all the things to learn. Every time I open another article, open another book, read another paper, read another book, I realize more and more that I don't know nothing. I don't know enough. And I'm like, if I've been studying for 3 years nonstop, my life depends on this. What am I gonna do? I got a baby. I got a wife. I just got a house. If I didn't know, what do the normal person know? What do the average veteran coming out of the military know? Who don't have a parent that tells them the right thing, a veteran parent that tells them right things. Even if that veteran parent told him enough things, did they tell him enough things? That's when I started educating the people around me. I started doing that. I did that for about 3 years, and then my wife was like, man, you learned all this stuff. You're reading all these books. You're doing all these articles. Why don't you get paid to do this? Why not make you a YouTube or something? People need this information. Shout out to my wife, to the queen. And she was right. And years passed, and I was still helping people one-on-one. And I thought to myself, I need to help more people. More veterans need this information. More family members of veterans need this information. There's benefits associated with, there's benefits for the family members of veterans. I mean, how many people I talk to that say their granddaddy was in the Army or the Navy, and they're like, yeah, but they ain't leaving no benefits. That's not true. He left you something. He left you something. More than freedom, they left you something. More than a flag, they left you something. More than a constitution, they left you something. More than the, wait a minute, dark side of the army, they love you something. More than some giant Uncle Sam that you can call on, like a dark knight. They love you something. And it's my job, my passion, my calling to teach you those things. To teach you what are the specific benefits that you can use to make money because you serve the United States military or your family member did. It's my duty to promote the benefits that you are entitled to. And I said entitled, not the, oh my God, he's so woke. I'm talking about real entitlements. I'm talking about blood, sweat, and tears entitlements that are yours. You just need to learn them and grab them. And that's what I'm going to teach you. And I don't know everything. That's why it's called a club. I'm here to teach you what I know and learn what you know and share with people that don't know, right? That's why it's called the Veteran Wealth Club. VWC, baby. So come on, rock with me, learn with me, be a veteran with me, and let's 3X the American dream and create what we like to call the veteran dream. It's your man KL. This is episode 1. Check out episode 2 when it drops for you. And leave a like, subscribe, comment. Tell me, hey, if you like the flow. You don't like the flow? I had a little wine tonight. If you don't like the flow, I'm sorry. My flow's going to still be the same. This is how I talk. I like to get that rhythm going. Ooh, ha, I want to help somebody. It's your man KL. Till next time. Salute.